Mr. Adkins is teaching a unit on measurement to his third grade math class. On Monday, he introduces his class to the learning targets they will be studying this week. Mr. Adkins engages the students in a lesson about units of measurement. He then observes as they play a matching game in table groups, making note of who seems to be having difficulty. At the end of the mathematics session, he asks them to complete exit cards stating their perceived level of understanding of the day's learning. On Tuesday, he continues the lessons on units of measurement, adjusting instruction to take into account what he observed while students were engaged in the matching game and the information they provided on the exit cards. At the conclusion of the lesson, he gives a short quiz to determine whether all of his students can identify and select appropriate units of measurement in preparation for participating in a hands-on lab. On Wednesday, he passes back the quiz and asks students to identify what they have learned and what they still need to work on. He places them in groups based on their needs and gives each group a series of tasks to deepen their understanding of the learning target they have not yet mastered. He meets with a handful of students who need to work on more than one target. On Thursday, the students participate in a hands-on measurement lab, putting their learning into practice by taking and recording measurements. Mr. Adkins circulates throughout the room, instructing and offering suggestions as needed. On Friday, the students take a test that covers the targets they have been learning this week. On Monday, Mr. Smith, a sixth-grade math teacher, planned his lessons on units of measurement. He introduced the lesson by demonstrating many equivalents on the smartboard and assigned problems for homework. On Tuesday, Mr. Smith collected homework, did some measurement demonstrations, and asked questions and called on volunteers to answer them. On Wednesday, he passed back the previously assigned homework with incorrect answers marked with an X. Students were given a letter grade on homework. On Thursday, Mr. Smith did a quick review, gave students a study guide, and then provided them time to study for their test. On Friday, his students were given a test that also would be counted as a grade. The following Monday, Mr. Smith moved on to the next unit of study.
Writing is huge. The kids have been able to do so much more with their own writing. So at this point in the year, we are writing full paragraphs rather than on our report card, where it is still, I think, where we used to be. Our report card is a standards-based report card, and we ask for kids to write one 8-word sentence with a capital and period. We have kids writing multiple paragraphs at this point in the year, whereas before, we would be looking for maybe 5 sentences by this point in the year.
The before was more teacher-driven, okay? What I really thought that they should be learning. Now it's a little bit more student-driven. They are telling me what the important parts of a lesson are. I think that my classroom looks different because I'm taking an opportunity to step back and really, really look at the lesson. What part of that lesson is the most important thing that those kids need to walk away with? Sometimes it's not what the book says. You know, to teach from a teacher's manual, you can't do it nowadays.
The posting of what we're going to be doing. You know, before it was all me coming up with the plan and putting that plan into action with the students having no idea of what's going to go on until it happens. Now, at any time during a class setting, they can look at the posting of the learning targets and they can see what we're doing, why we're doing it, what's going to be coming next. It also allows them a chance to maybe go back and see where we've been. So it keeps them more engaged, helps them, again, to keep focused on our task. And I've seen a greater impact on student attention and effort as well.
Keep listening. Watch each other, help each other out, get ideas from other teachers. Ask, how do you do that? How am I going to do that? And try to keep going with the focus on your targets, then match everything up to go with that. The teaching part, the testing, the feedback part. Stick to the same thing, but help each other out. Don't try to go about learning this alone.
My advice would be to pick an area that you feel like you can focus on. You can pick one subject area and you can look specifically at breaking down what it is you want to get better. So for instance, in first grade, we looked at writing first. We felt like that was something we did on an everyday basis that was very similar, and we really wanted kids to be able to do basics. Put a capital letter and a period every day. And so that's where we started. We started only with capital letters and periods. And that's what we do at the beginning of the school year now. So we only look at capital letters and periods, and the kids check themselves. So we also tried to choose something that we felt was manageable for the students to look at.
My advice would be it's a trial and error process. You know, it's a continuum. You're going to continue to learn. You're going to learn from your students. You're going to learn by trial and error what works well, what doesn't work well, and just to keep going. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to revise and edit and change if it's not successful. Just keep working to move forward.
Start small. Start with one area that they really truly think that they can make a difference in. We started in math. It was an area that we are working as a building, focusing instruction, trying to bring scores up. So we started at looking at math and how you can make a learning target, how you can do formative assessment to be able to drive your instruction. The thing about power indicators, formative assessment, it's made me look at areas that kids don't really truly have. Teaching the mastery, a little bit different thought than just trying to get through everything. You know, most teachers feel if they don't finish the book that they haven't done their job. That's not the way it should be. It should be their mastery of those skills and being able to move forward with the knowledge that they need to go to the next level.